Hello, everybody. Welcome to another stream. And my cat was going crazy right before I came on. He gets excited when I give him the packets of wet food, and I don't know why. He just has a lot of energy afterwards and then goes around acting crazy. So, how is everybody doing today? I want to start. I was watching different videos for today, and I want to just begin with this video. I was watching different videos on how to talk to your conservative parents, what parents should do when their child comes out, or when you don't agree with your parents, all different things. And then I came across this show, What Would You Do? I wonder if there's any information. What Would You Do explores the varying answers with the help of hidden cameras capturing individuals who have been placed within seemingly everyday situations that quickly go awry. The individuals on this hidden camera show are forced to make tough calls when directly faced with situations of racism, violence, hate crimes, and other hot-button cultural issues. And it made me it made me smile, but it's from 2017. So, uh, so anyway, so the title of this one is Male Soldier Berated Because of Homosexuality. I just want to play the beginning, and it's just let's let's just let's just see what happens. Let's let it play. I hope none of this is copywritten. I hope not. And I'm going to be pausing a lot more because in the last live I got a copyright infringement. So that wasn't fun.
Are you ready to order?
Can I have a second?
Sure.
Thank you.
Are you new in town?
I'm passing through on my way to Fort Bragg.
Well, I love a man in uniform.
Whoever says that in public, and it's not even, they're like right next to each other. Okay.
Can I buy you a drink or something?
I appreciate that, but I'm waiting on my date.
Well, she's a lucky lady. Be sure to tell her I said that.
You can tell him yourself. He's right here.
Oh my gosh, plot twist. It's a guy. And look at her face. Wait, let me try to.
Hey, cutie. Hey, handsome.
That's disgusting.
Hey, cutie.
Excuse me?
I thought soldiers were supposed to be real men, not fairies.
A woman angry when she
Oh, here we go. Here's the commentator. I've seen this one. I don't know why, but the acting is so bad that it just... I've never seen these before. I'm going to be spending hours watching these, I guess.
finds out the soldier she was attracted to is gay.
Oh my gosh.
Their masculinity, their ability to serve their country.
Wait, where did that come from? She criticizes their masculinity, their ability to serve their country. When did she ever...
Do you join her crusade, jump in the trenches and defend the soldiers, or remain...
It's like one of those fake freeze.
To continue? What would you do?
What would you do? What would you do, everyone? The show has been on for a long time. I've never... Well, I don't really watch normal TV. Actually, that's funny. People were surprised that at the seminary that I went to, people who don't understand the traditional Catholic, but we didn't have anything. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have TVs. We didn't watch movies. The computers were stored in a specific room, and we didn't have access to the internet. There was a specific computer that we had to ask permission to use. Actually, we had to ask permission to do everything that was outside of the schedule. We would have to wait in line. Wow, I totally forgot about this. But after the meals, we would get into line in order to talk to the rector. And the reason that we would have to do that is either to ask permission for something special or to apologize. So if we in any way broke the rules of the seminary, in any way, any little, like even if we accidentally drop one of the plates and it breaks on the floor, or we were a minute late to start something on the schedule, or anything, we had to go and apologize. And it was something very fake, because especially for the accidents or something that wasn't intentional, it became just a formal apology. Not a formal apology, like a facade. Something that you just say the words just to say them because you're supposed to do it. And then he would criticize us for not apologizing in the right way. he would say that Americans, when they apologize, it's very emotional, and they want it to appear that they're that it's something that really deeply affects them. And I remember it was just it was a headache. But anyway.
I'm sorry, what's your problem?
You're why America's the laughing stock of the world.
Hi, Karen. Not even a Karen. Bad actress.
We have a bunch of queers fighting our wars.
Whoa, it's hidden camera. Don't look at the camera, lady.
Today, we've deployed our hidden cameras
Oh my gosh, North Carolina. That's where I lived for most of my life.
at the Boxcar Grill in Claremont.
I don't even know where Claremont is.
Excuse me, sir, are you in the military?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
These customers are
Okay. So, oh, what would you do? So, I got the premise now. So the other people are on the show. They're the ones being tested. Gotcha. So they go to the southern states where supposedly there's issues with this. You can't hear it or you can hear it. Sam.
seated right in
I'm going to turn it up. Let me know if this is better.
the crossfire and share an amused look.
Are you waiting for someone, or did you want to join me?
I am actually waiting on my date.
Oh, so they play the scene. Got it.
But check out the looks they share when they learn June is turned down
Hey, good looking.
for a man.
Did you see that guy? He's either saying they don't have the grits that I want. They don't have they don't have my favorite sausage. No, what's it called? Sausage gravy. Gosh, what was it? Gravy and biscuits, but I'm trying to remember the exact phrase. He's either saying that or it's the gay thing. He looks at the girl like, well.
You long enough? No. I don't think it goes this far out.
Guys, I'm sorry to bother you. Are you guys gay?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're in the military?
Yep.
Do you not think it's uncomfortable for the other soldiers?
Those people are like, get me out of here. Oh my gosh. Where has this show been in my life? I just spent 2 years stuck inside. I needed this show to remind me that people out there are insane.
To like be around y'all? Because I'm kind of uncomfortable just being like here.
You want to just go? Yeah.
I'm really not trying to be rude. I want to understand.
With the soldiers gone, June tries to enlist allies.
What would, honestly, first of all, normally these type of things don't happen like that. Like, I'm sure they have the racist thing, like they said in the description, situations of racism, violence, hate crimes, and other hot button cultural issues. So a lot of these things are very subtle in real life. They wouldn't be as blatant. Yeah, interesting. Huh.
I don't understand it either.
Do you agree with me?
I do, but it's not me. I don't understand why they want to be that way, and I do understand if that's the way we are, that's the way we are.
Oh, okay, lady.
Are you okay with them in the military?
It shouldn't be allowed in there now.
These poor people, I wonder if they have to sign, like, as you walk into the restaurant, they're like, in order to get your table, you have to sign this release form. What do you mean, sir? Well, it's okay. You don't have to read it. It's just, something that we do here in this random restaurant. Just sign this release form. It says here that um, does it say here that I'm giving permission for y'all to use my image on your TV? But no, sir. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay. The two most hilarious ones are the gay wedding cake and the racist towards Asians at a nail salon because of the commentary. Okay. Oh my goodness. I was going to talk about something completely different, but I think this is what we need.
It shouldn't be allowed. But with the way it is now, you're allowed it, no matter what.
Still, it ain't right.
I don't think it's right in the military.
Okay, so this is after. This is like they know that the camera's there.
They're representing our country.
They shouldn't be allowed in the military.
Well, I think it should. That's my feeling.
And yourself?
I don't like it, but what are you going to do about it? And it's not me. It's nothing that I'm going to have to pay for later.
It's nothing I'm gonna have to pay for later. What? You mean in hell? There are a lot of ones about kids coming out to their parents too. Interesting. What would you do? You know what I hate? Hate's a strong word. You know what I strongly despise and would spit upon? And no, I'm just kidding. I don't like these type of shows where they put people of a certain political bent in a category, and then the host has to teach them, expose their truth, and hopefully change their ways, like he is the enlightened one. Does that make sense? I don't like, it's like, this is not the time to do it in front of it.
And if they want to be that way, that's fine.
Back in the restaurant,
How can you be in the military and be gay?
our soldiers
Oh, so these people did not give the consent form. That's why they're blurred out. I got it. So they asked them after.
make another strategic withdrawal.
Let's just see if we can get another seat, maybe. Different table.
And once again, with the soldiers gone, she joins
We need to pray for them.
forces with June.
I'm sorry.
We just need to pray for them. Their eyes will be open. The Lord will speak to them, and they would listen and realize that it's wrong. There's nothing against them personally.
Do you think they should be allowed in the military?
They've always been in the military. Well, that seems realistic. It's not like gay people were created when gay rights came about.
The man she's with thinks it would be better to retreat to an earlier policy.
Don't ask, don't tell. There are a lot of policies and a lot of those moments that I just skipped over in my education and my experience just because I was focused on higher things. And yeah, it's weird to just kind of like hop into a world that already has so much momentum.
How'd you feel about that?
Well, I get that. I mean, not the if you're exposed in any way, then you should be kicked out part, but it doesn't matter. If the job's getting done, it doesn't matter. The problem was he could go to some sort of event with his wife but the gay guy couldn't, or had to bring a girl to give the appearance of it. That's a problem. I was active duty Army for 4 years, and since then in the Air National Guard. So I was there for Donus. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I understand the concept, but I don't know exactly what happened. I guess you were, if you were found out, you were discharged, right? Is that the policy? Honorably or dishonorably?
And others disagree with June, saying that the only limitation on military service should be whether the soldier can do the job.
So you agree with me?
Well, not really. They're doing their job. They're doing their job, what they're supposed to do. And whatever they do is their business.
So y'all are just okay with homosexuality?
I didn't say that.
I didn't.
Y'all, yeah, we're married. No, that would have been a funny twist.
I didn't say I wasn't for it. I'm just saying they're doing their job.
I don't care what they do, as long as they don't affect me and people around me.
Don't they come sit on my lap? I don't give a what they do.
So is he right?
As long as they don't sit on my lap. Yeah, but that's one thing that I don't appreciate with some of these movements of acceptance is the fact that there's no room for that type of response. You have to not only accept, but you have to be an ally. You have to promote. You have to defend. You have to be active. Or even with the racism topic, you can't just not be racist. That's not acceptable anymore. At least with the ideologues. What is acceptable, what is the bare minimum, is that you're anti-racist, which for them means that you are positively doing things to combat racism, whatever that entails. So it's not enough to just say, well, I'm not racist. If that's the truth, I mean, okay. But no, you have to positively affect change. It seems, does anyone else think that because of COVID, I know that movements and all of that has been around for as long as there's been politics and people. But does anyone else get the impression that nowadays, in this time in history, I don't know if COVID really pushed people to that edge, but we live in a world where you have to affiliate yourself with something. You have to positively be a part of some movement. Does anyone else get that impression? Like, you can't just live your life. You can't just be and exist and be happy and like, no, you have to almost wear political movements or social movements around with you wherever you go, like merit badges. The status of discharge, I think, depended on the attitudes of the commander, but I was just very careful how I acted. Yeah, I mean, that just sounds very precarious with the don't ask, don't tell. That, I mean, it's either yes or no. I've been saying that throughout all 2021. Yeah, I like when the black square started happening on Instagram. I didn't do it. And is it because I'm racist? No, it's not. But the thing is, you have to do those things because that is combating, that is attacking racism. There, the lines are drawn. If you don't post the black square, then you are racist. There's no room for not being racist. It's racist or anti-racist. And I've even met people who were racist. Not like KKK level, but they had some racist ideas. But it's not like they were actively going around and being racist to people. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't combative. I'm sure it affected some of their words or their behaviors around certain types of people, but it wasn't anything like they weren't going out to attack the people that they're racist against. It's like not even that is recognized as a possibility. It's either racist, but like combative racist or combative anti-racist. I don't know. For me, the worst part was thinking if I got kicked out, that my parents were going to find out I was gay. Yeah. Then afterwards, apparently, if you did, you were... Okay, we have two conversations going. I think there's only 3 of us here right now, so I have to keep the conversations together. Then afterwards, apparently, if you did, you were racist. Oh, so if you did post the black square, then you were racist? I don't remember that. But I won't doubt it. I mean, people just have too much time on their hands, and they think that what they have to say is so important, and they have to make change in the world, and they have to, this is one thing that I've discovered through my past, but just looking at reality, is the fact that before you go off and make change in the world, do something outside of yourself, you have to make sure that number one is taken care of. And I don't mean in a selfish way. You have to work on yourself and have the centeredness, if that's a word, before you go out. Because if you don't have balance and that center, then you're just going to be moved around without any like roots in the ground. People can just easily manipulate you. And I think that's a problem nowadays, that people are constantly being distracted, and they don't have any time to just sit with their own thoughts. And so they're extending themselves all the time outside by this, by that, by this drama, that drama, this movement, that movement. And that's the type of state that I would imagine those movements would want their people to be in. Because if you have people in an unstable state, then it's easy to move them like a mob. It was performative. There are also those, if you believed in borders, such as USA southern border, you were racist against Hispanics. Yeah, it's, living in Mexico has not been so much of an eye-opener as people would think. And I think it's just I'm not one of those people who's like, I don't see color, I don't see race. That's just bogus, because each race is beautiful and unique, and they shouldn't just be homogenized. But coming to Mexico, yes, I was exposed to the Mexican culture, and I understand that more, and then that did give me a more balanced perspective on things, because the more we experience these different ways of thinking, the easier it is to understand our own perspective or even alter it. And so with the whole southern border thing, here in Mexico, they have a southern border too. And on that border, there are a lot of immigrants that are coming into Mexico, and in some places destroying the economy. And now the man is coming by. There's a guy that comes by with a pickup truck buying mattresses, appliances every day. Every day. Every single day. What was I saying? Oh, the border. They put a lot of money and a lot of manpower to protect that border. Isn't that interesting? Huh. And when I had classes with people for English, we would always talk about random things, political topics and stuff. And I would say, what's your impression about the United States and the people there? Oh, they're racist. They're bigoted. I'm like, okay, why? And they would bring up something. Trump was a huge thing. Oh, Trump, he hates Mexicans. He calls us all whatever, criminals of all sorts. And I'm like, okay, so what do you think about the border? I don't think there should be a border. I'm like, okay. And I said, well, what about the border in the south of Mexico? Oh. It's funny because I see Mexicans here criticizing Central Americans when they come in. They see them as lower class. It's just interesting. And this is the thing. Because imagine one of those people who might have this view, a Mexican who might have this view of Central Americans who come into Mexico. Imagine that. And then they go to the United States and they become that person to Americans. Not all of them, and not all Mexicans have this perspective, but it is kind of something that I've seen more here than I did in the States. But that's another, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. But it's just eye-opening because it's like, oh, it's an opportunity to say, maybe the way that I'm experiencing these, okay, we'll just say racist because lack of a better term. Oh, as a Mexican in the United States and I'm experiencing these attitudes towards me, that's how I treat these people. And so by experiencing another culture, there's a way of understanding more ourselves. I saw that in people. I might disagree politically, but it's not and shouldn't be some kind of moral superiority. Never be moral superiority. Morals are involved in every action, I think, but the idea of better, less than, all of that, I mean, the people that I've talked to, not all people, but some people that I've talked to, what they know of Mexico is the border, where there's a lot of desert, and the narcos, Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, those touristy places. But they have this conception of like, Mexico just doesn't have a lot of money. They're poor. It's just like not necessarily like we're better, but it's like they're not as privileged as we are in the States type of thing. And coming down here and just visiting for a few days, you realize really quickly that yes, the opportunities are not as big. There's not as plentiful here in Mexico for people, but there's a lot of opportunities, and people really do amazing things with their careers. But the main thing is they focus on what's important. I think it's because they've had this more homogenous culture for a long time, and that came from Europe too, in Spain. But it's they have more of a grasp of reality, of, I don't know, it just seems more grounded in general here. In the United States, not so much. They kind of live in ideas. But yeah, the people here, they focus on their family, on being happy, enjoying the simple things. I'm not saying that they're poor. There are poor people, but they have money. Some people have money. Some people have a lot more money than my family did in the United States. But, you know, they focus on uniting with their family, and you know, they don't sacrifice their life and their happiness for a career to have money. I don't know. There's a lot of things like that I've picked up on being here. Oh, just a random comment. Let me go back to my full face. This is the eve of a very important day of the year. Actually, important day for two people in this house. The two humans who live here. Tomorrow is my birthday and Aron's birthday. I will be turning the very special age of 33. I remember thinking when I was younger, oh, when I'm 33, you know, the year that our Lord died, that's going to be such a special year. And I'm going to have, like, I don't know, you just have these fantasies about, you know, like, where you're going to be at that time. And yeah, but it's all downhill from here. That's what I've been told. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. And tomorrow, the age of perfection. Yes, perfection. No. Tomorrow, Aron reserved a table at the steakhouse. I realized that in all the time that I've been in Mexico, I haven't once been to a steakhouse. And so we're going for a special dinner. I'm excited. And today is Los Reyes, the kings. So it's the Epiphany, but everyone celebrates it here. Catholicism is just embedded in a lot of cultural norms here. But what they do is they have this special type of bread. Actually, let me see if I can find it. A picture of it. Okay. All right, let me go back to this. So this, it's called rosca, and it's just a bread. And actually, I don't know everything that's on it, but there's fruit on the inside, and gelatins on top. And I don't remember all of it. But as you can see here in the middle, there's a little white figure. And that's supposed to be the baby Jesus. And if it's hidden somewhere inside, there's a few of them hidden inside the rosca. And if you cut your piece and you get the infant, then you, on February 2nd, which is another Catholic feast day, you have to pay for the tamales. I think everyone knows what tamales. Tamales. It sounds so weird to say it. It's an American accent. Tamales. They do this in France too. Okay, I didn't know that, but yeah, you have to pay for the tamales. And I think Adron got it at his work, so he has to contribute to the tamales on February 2nd. But I just wanted to share that with everybody. I kind of want to... What was the other video? What would you do coming out to parents? I want to see. Latino parents disagree with son coming out. Young man comes out as gay to his traditional Asian parents. Which one do you guys want to see? Parents disapprove of their drag queen son's look while out to eat. I don't know which one you would want to see. I kind of want to see the Latino parents. All right, let me cut the music. Oh, gay wedding cake. Maybe that's the one. Well, let's see this. I'm interested because it's kind of what I wanted to talk about, but we'll see what happens. They have the best music. The dad.
Those girls walk by? They're pretty, right?
Yeah, they're nice, but they're not really my type.
They're not my type because they don't have a pee-pee.
Are you kidding me? You know I love your mom, but I was a little younger.
Can you be serious? I have to tell you something.
You didn't get a girl pregnant, did you? I mean, I told.
Stop projecting, father. Stop living vicariously through me. Hello, everyone who's new. We're watching What Would You Do? Latino parents disagree with son coming out.
Told you about that.
No, it's not that. It's...
You can tell me anything, Dylan. You know that.
I know. That's why we're here. I wanted to tell you face to face, like a man, how you always taught me.
He's an alpha. No, I'm just kidding.
That I'm gay.
Puppy, that's not funny.
It's not a joke, Dad.
It's not but B. But B, that's not funny. What did he... It sounded like he said Poppy. Oh, come on. There's the guy. Oh no, this is a different one. So before it was the appliance and mattress person. This time it's tamales and corn. Elote. Oh no, it's just corn. All day. I promise you, all day. There's these two people. There's one that... Can you guys hear that? So... there's another one that comes with the bread at night. So in probably an hour or two. And then there's like 2 or 3 different gas companies that come by. And they all have their slogan. And they just go around playing their... I mean, the day that you need gas, it's perfect because you know they're there. Or the day that you want bread. And when I say bread, it's like bakery stuff. But the second you want some peace and quiet, Sandro and I always have to stop talking in our video chats when one of these loud voices goes by. I know. And then the dogs. Can you hear the... Wait. Okay, they didn't go for long. There's dogs at the corner. I'm always going to complain about them, so deal with it. But they start going, and then our dog starts going, and so there's noise. But let's keep watching.
It's not a joke, Dad. I like men.
I raised you to be a man, not like a man.
The Latino culture
I raised you to be a man, not like a man.
is often recognized for its tradition of machismo. Today,
Okay, this is machismo. That's a whole other subject. I don't want to get into it now. We hear more roosters. Yeah, that's another thing.
this Hispanic young man is coming out to his very traditional padre. If you saw a Latino dad,
Traditional padre, not traditional poverty.
berate and disown his own son simply because he's gay, what would you do?
Being gay doesn't make me any less of a man.
Oh, you can believe that if you want, but it makes you less of my son.
Dun dun dun. You know, these are serious, but I can't get past the acting. It almost looks like the kid's about to smile.
Today, we're at the Omega Diner and Cafe.
So this is where I was born, not North Brunswick, but I was born in New Jersey. So we've had North Carolina the first time where I grew up, and New Jersey where I was born. Interesting. It's a coincidence?
In North Brunswick, New Jersey.
Tu sabes, you know, I brought you here for a reason.
Talk to me, Bobby Zabasa.
The first customer is a fellow Latina. Who will she side with in this family drama?
The women in Mexico are very strong and loud and powerful, like in personality. That's generalizing, but it's more common here. So I just imagine what's going to happen.
I've been trying to figure out for some time how to tell you I'm gay.
What are you talking about? No son of mine is gay. What's wrong with you?
Perdón, Dad. There's nothing wrong with this. I'm still your son.
It's all wrong. A real man doesn't fool around with men. I'm not gonna accept this.
What do you think she's going to do? Give me your guesses. What do you think she's going to do? I think that she's going to go over and slap him. I'm just kidding. I don't think that's going to happen. I think she's going to say, "Oh, you're gay? Well, I can make you straight. Come over here, papi." I doubt that too.
My son is not gay.
Dad.
With Dad gone, she takes the opportunity to reassure Dylan.
No te preocupes, porque la hija mía también igual.
For this mother, it turns out the issue hits very close to home.
Wow.
Tiene ahora 21 años. Ella salió a los 8 años, me lo dijo. Y me confundí. Me sentí como, ¿por qué? But when I told her from the beginning I would love you no matter what, I tell you this much, I kept my word to the end.
Dad's coming back.
Bobby, why are you bothering these people?
No. I'm telling her because my daughter también es.
I know, but we're Latinos, you know?
Yeah, I know. No es fácil.
Hello, ¿cómo está? I'm John Quiñones.
She's like, "What the?"
TV show called What Would You Do? You were amazing.
My daughter's gay.
My daughter's gay, she said, and it said, "My daughter's game." For what? My daughter's game.
My daughter's gay. And
I think the closed captioning is racist. That's gonna be my new. I'm gonna make videos and tweet at YouTube and tell them, "Hey, YouTube, your closed captioning, it's racist. You know why? Because it doesn't understand a Latino accent. It's racist. It's for white people. It promotes white supremacy. It was probably invented by Trump. The closed captioning. How do you even say that? Because in Spanish, X is Latinx. Oh man, so many of my friends here say that that's BS. Like, they hate that. There's some that are trying to create a third non-gender gender because they hate, because in Spanish, I don't know if anyone knows, but there's, let's say, a son is hijo, a daughter, hija. There we go. Boy, o, girl, a. But if there's 5 girls and 1 guy in a group, they're children, then you use the masculine version, niños, even though there's 5 girls and 1 guy. And you think, that doesn't sound right. I mean, there's more girls than guys, so it should be niñas, right? I mean, it's like majority rules. But it's not like that, because gender in a language isn't gender in people. Right? Right. In some cases, it's related to a specific gender. Sorry, I should be saying sex. Until that's official, I'm just going to stick to what I know, because I've seen trends come and go and words change and then come back and then everything. So I'm just going to play ignorance on this. But it's just like that in Spanish, and it doesn't, when you use the plural, it loses its connection to a human being and their gender. It loses that connection, and it becomes a connection with the group. So if anything, if we're going to play this game, no, I'm not going to go down that road. Sandro says people are trying to say this, but he hates it, and said everyone he knows thinks it's crazy too. There's a video that I saw of people going around asking Latin Americans, do you know this word, Latinx or whatever? And they're like, no, what's that? And it's like, well, it means this. And they're like, no, I'm like this. I remember this woman, she was like very busty and very like a short but like powerful woman, very present, if you know what I mean. And she's like, no, I'm Latina. Like, she was proud of it. They would have to reinvent the whole language. He says he is not Latinx, he is Latino. Latino. I was just saying you got to use the correct nomenclature if you want to play a part. But the thing is, who's dictating the nomenclature? Well, it's part of living and developing and changing. Some people don't like change. You always have to, whenever there are these things that come up in the world, a lot of people just like sit and point. They take a position and point. And it's like, you can do that. Go ahead. No one's stopping you. I'm not stopping you. I don't care. I'm not you. But what I do is I go, okay, let's look at this. Let's see both sides. What are they saying? Oh, this side saying this. Okay. This side saying this. Oh, okay. Looking for elements of each that seem to correspond with reality as I see it. And then I come up with my opinion. Sometimes it doesn't fit with either side. Here in the United States, from what I can see, it is not Hispanics. It's white people insisting it's more inclusive, not the Hispanics. Well, I don't want to go down that road. Not unless anyone wants me to go down that road. It's just a lot of headache. And I think we get berated by all of these ideas and this conflict all the time that I just want to watch What Would You Do? I just want to see some What Would You Do? Anyone else? Let's not get into the white, the black, the Hispanic racism, and I know I brought it up kind of, but I don't really want to, not today. I just want to watch some What Would You Do?
I was younger, I had family members. They all had this little hate over gay people. And when my daughter came out in the open, I was stuck. But then I thought about it and I looked at her and I said, she's still mine.
I remember before my parents knew, before I told them, which was recent, like 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago. Yeah, don't worry. The middle ones. The middle ones, where does that come from? Why do you have that name? I'm always interested in names. People think that I'm either satanic or I think that I'm a piece of shit. It's like, no, there's a joke in there. It's a little ironic. What was I saying? Oh, before I told my parents, they knew, which was not so funny to find out afterwards because they never approached me on it, which might have helped. But I remember just seeing how people around me, without knowing, not just my family, but even friends or other people from the church, how they spoke about gay people. And I was sitting there like very interested in what they were saying, how they were saying, because everything that they were saying, I attributed to myself. Obviously, I was able to make some mental gymnastics and say, I do want to, we do have the similarity of being gay. Okay. But they're following it. They're living the lifestyle. They're being indulgent and being irrational and da 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 da. So yes, even though we have this similarity, there's a huge crevasse between us. So I was able to say, yeah, those people over there, even though we were basically the same. But it's just interesting to see how people talk to others. Talk about others when they don't realize that they're talking to you too. That was such a bizarre situation to be in. But then again, like I said, mental gymnastics, and then I was able to rest easy thinking that I will never be exposed or I will never accept that. Mental gymnastics is definitely crucial.
I'm gay, Dad.
This next customer clearly overhears Dylan's revelation.
This is a joke, huh?
You know, I think this is a social commentary on the fact that people eavesdrop on everyone else's conversation. Maybe that's something we should be talking about. Mind your own damn business, people.
And as a result, asks to be moved.
Is everything okay, miss? therapist, and I'm like, want to just get involved. I can't. It's not my life.
But once Dylan is alone, this therapist does what she does best.
Hello, Roger. Welcome. Yeah. Did I ever tell you guys that I'm seriously thinking about going into therapy, being a therapist, and I'm trying to figure out here in Mexico what I need to do in order to be qualified, because you don't need to, it's not like you're going to be a psychologist. That requires a lot of education, but I think a therapist does require a license, like in the States, but I don't know exactly what they require, because I think that from being in the seminary and the education there and the interactions that I had while I was a priest and just my education, I think that I would have a substantial amount to contribute. And I'm thinking about, I just found out today that maybe it's not as difficult as in the States to be a therapist. So I'm going to investigate that as soon as possible. But coming out at a restaurant, the only reason I can think of it would be safety. Yeah, actually there's a video on coming out to Christian parents, and this woman who is a Christian but is accepting, she gives some tips to people for doing that. And one of them is maybe you need to go in a public place. So maybe we'll get to that at some point.
I was so nervous about telling you.
I know, but you gotta do it.
You never acted this, but I just wanted to accept.
Just takes time over here.
This is the worst closed captioning I have ever seen in my entire life. Goodbye. If everyone can hear it, then that's good enough for me. I'll turn it up a little bit more.
Parents, they have this vision of what their child's going to be one day, and when they find out it's different, it takes a long time to kind of figure it out. He'll get there. It's just going to take some time.
In her professional opinion, our dad's
Yeah. I want to get some drama. I want to get somebody who's like, going to the dad, like, I agree with you. Yeah, let's burn him at the stake. Like, that's the type of content I want. I don't want these accepting people. That's boring. I want some drama. I've watched lots of those types of videos. Always so fascinating, especially because as a child you feel you are the only one. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I think more and more as people come out and are more public about things, especially situations that relate to our own situations, I think it'll be a lot easier. So.
Reaction is not out of the ordinary.
You would love for the parents to just say, whoever you are, we love you.
I got it.
But he tries to start the healing process.
It's always the guy. It's the man. This is where the drama's going to be.
By providing some perspective.
I don't think they handle it the right way.
Oh, no drama, but
You're not going to change in this second, but you should be more understanding towards them.
Do you have a son?
Well,
Imagine something.
I agree.
okay, this accent is what I grew up on. This guy's right here. His accent is like honey to my ears. No, it's just nostalgic.
Hey, I ain't the worst thing in the world. Didn't kill anybody, hurt nobody. It was you have to check on him, make sure he's all right.
All right. I want some drama.
It embarrassed me.
I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I
can't hear you like this. I can't hear you like this.
People, this is a social experiment on eavesdropping.
I just need a break. Dad, my son is not gay. Period.
You all right, man?
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
I didn't expect my dad to react this way.
It is
So many accepting people. The world's getting so boring now. I'm just joking. I mean, it's good in real life, but for entertainment, I mean, we're dealing with actors. You know, he's not really coming out to his dad, so nobody's getting hurt.
It's an all too real possibility. A child living in
Oh, come on. That's it. That's the end of it. All right, we're going to the wedding one. What is it? The gay wedding cake. Let's go. What would you do? Bakery employee denies a wedding cake for a lesbian couple. That's what I'm talking about. All right, this will be the last one. If at any point the majority here rules that we're done with what would you do, just let me know.
gay marriage. It became legal in the U.S. in 2015. But in 2018, some say it's still
We know the history. We want to get to what would you do. We don't need to be educated.
Jersey.
We want to make an appointment, I guess, to do
Or just
cake
like
testing.
What kind of cake?
A wedding cake.
A wedding cake.
And we would like this cake, but we wanted to know if it would go with this topper. Yes.
You're having a lesbian wedding.
Yes.
I think that these shows are just, they're like trying too hard to make sure they say the keywords. Oh, a lesbian cake. Not just I think in real life it'd be like, oh, okay, well, I won't be able to do that. Or something like that. They wouldn't, a lesbian cake.
I can't serve you. We can't do a lesbian wedding. I won't do a lesbian wedding cake, let's put it that way.
I don't think.
And that quickly catches the attention of these women who spring
who are lesbians. No.
into action.
Myself. We would like to actually cancel our appointment because if you're not going to serve them, we're going to go to.
Ladies, I'm sorry. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to compromise my morals for a price?
We're not. We're not saying that you should, but we're saying that we are going to take our business elsewhere, and there's no reason why you cannot serve them. So, that's totally your.
But she's marrying him.
This is the drama that I was asking for. Thank you, two white blonde ladies. Thank you for bringing the drama.
She's marrying a man. They're not. They're marrying each other.
And that's great for them. If they love each other, that's great. And they'll go somewhere where they will get served.
It's like the best reality show.
Unfortunately, you will not do that, so we are going to leave Ashley as well.
As the women walk out, they take our couple with them.
Come on, ladies. So upset. Sorry. I'm like sheepish.
Come on, ladies. We'll make your cake. Don't worry about him. We're going to help you with your cake. No, that's okay.
I'm so pissed off that I'm sorry.
Time to let them.
Where is this place? That accent. I got to find out where they're from. Sorry.
Who wants a cake to be baked.
Oh, the good celebrities. Oh, I love when the celebrities come in and... Sorry. Even if they're saying the right thing, I just hate when celebrities talk about all this stuff. I know they're people, but... And they can have their opinion. But when they just blatantly say stuff, it's like you're getting an award for pretending to be Spider-Man. You wore a tight suit and shot CG webs out of your hands with a green screen behind you. And you're going to stand up there with your award and say something political. Like, come on. And everyone's like, oh, so good. So it's just all, I hate that.
That's why we set
Even if it's the right thing. Even if what they're saying I agree with, it just rubs me the wrong way.
up shop at a little cake bakery in Park Ridge, New Jersey.
New Jersey, I knew it. Sorry, Park Ridge, New Jersey. All right, let's get back. Let's get back to the...
I'm sorry.
Time to let them in on our...
Sorry, I'm not criticizing Spider-Man. It's the best movie that has ever been created in the history of the world. I'm not criticizing the movie.
Little secret.
Yeah, Alfred, let's go get him.
That was a joke. I don't think it's the best movie ever created.
You're outside?
Yep.
What's going on here? I'm John Quinones with the TV show.
Wouldn't that be funny if he's like, I'm on a TV show of Christians who were against gay people, and we just want to interview you because you're supporting gay people. What do you have to say about that? Wouldn't that be funny if like the tables were turned and this was like EWTN or something like that, and they were on the opposite side?
So what would you do?
Oh my god, I've seen this before!
Oh my god. I love that accent. I know it's really harsh and people hate it, but it's my people.
Wait, that was an accident? Can we go back and eat some cake? Yeah.
This happens in life sometimes, in real
Yeah.
life. What do you say to that?
There's no reason why people...
All right. I'm done with that. I want some more drama. Sorry. If anybody wants to watch this, go ahead. That would be a plot twist. Yeah, for sure.
It's wrong. It's wrong. But I can tell you that I won't come anymore.
And some folks call Peter's behavior not only bad, but bad business.
You don't impose your personal opinion on a customer. I'm sorry that he treated you that way. Nobody should ever feel belittled for who they love. And he doesn't represent all of us.
Others used religion to defend the women.
You believe in God?
Yes.
Oh, she's shaking her face. She's like, I'm about, you believe in God? Sit down, because I'm going to bring some Jesus in your face.
And if God didn't want him this way, he wouldn't have made him this way, correct?
When you get to God, he doesn't judge you by your sexuality, he judges you by what type of an individual you are.
Oh my gosh. I have relatives that look like this, that dress like this. And it's like, I know this has nothing to do with the content of the show, sorry, but in New Jersey, South Jersey, right near Philadelphia, sorry, there's a lot of Irish immigrants and Italian immigrants. Well, they're not immigrants anymore, they're Americans, but that's their ancestry. And so they all have like a similar look, a similar bone structure. Like if you see her chin, it's kind of tucked in. It's not a very strong chin, and that's exactly what I have. Like my lip comes out and then my chin. You guys are like, I didn't ask for this type of content, Francis. All right, I don't need more bots coming on here. Sorry, let me play this.
Throughout the day, emotions run high.
I'm so sorry. I feel like crying for you. Sorry. That's not right.
All right, I want somebody who's
Marriage, but feels the couple should not be discriminated against.
Oh, another. I want to see some. Well, let's watch this.
Entitled to love who they want to, the way that they want to, without the judgment of somebody else.
But they're lesbians, period. There's no other way to say it.
That's them. Back in the day, just because I'm black, they wouldn't allow me to walk in and sit at one of these tables, and that was somebody's personal belief.
All right. Let me just go to...
Erin Christoph is shaking her head too, but for a different reason.
We're getting married.
You're having a lesbian wedding?
Yeah, isn't it exciting?
You two are getting married?
Yes. Yeah, and
This is an Italian girl, you can tell. Like I said, Italians. Oh no, it's saying there's copyright. Oh, come on. I have to be more careful. Man, it's so delicate. Even when you're making a commentary, like they don't give you any breathing room. It was on for what, like 10 seconds? All right.
Riverdale.
Ladies, I'm just going to be clear with you. I won't do a cake for lesbian wedding, so you can take this back.
Like I said, eavesdropping.
We tell our actors to push it a little further.
It's disgusting.
They all have earpieces. It's like, push it. Push it. Talk about what you're going to do in bed tonight. Go big or go home. We want this lady to react.
It's literally, I cannot abide the lifestyle that you've chosen. It's really appalling to me. So please take that and go.
Take that and shh. Okay. It's saying they're detecting copyright stuff now. You know, I don't know what to do. Heads up, we've detected copyrighted audio and video in your stream. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. If something happens with the stream, let me know. Because I can't really tell. Okay. Well, I think that's enough of what would you do. Thank you. Thank you for making my life miserable. Okay. So, I still see you. All right. So, I'm going to show you. I got some different videos. Let me make sure which one would be. Oh man, I hope this was like my thing, like watching videos and commenting on it. The funny part is John saying, she's right, the actor is gay. So now I'm afraid to watch a video. Now they're going to tell me that there's something wrong with the music, even though it says copyright free or royalty free, copyright safe music. I don't know. Oh, it's gone now. So maybe it's okay to play a video. I don't know. So one thing, I was talking with someone. I've been posting things on Instagram today, and obviously I posted my video yesterday on having a difficult time with parents after leaving religion or coming out as gay or whatever that may entail for your particular story. And I think that for the most part, a lot of the advice that I see in videos, it's either like it either idealizes the situation where, like, I imagine when, from my experience and from experiences that I've heard from other people, like real life experiences, not the ones portrayed in these videos, that they say things like, you know, maybe you don't agree with your child when they come out, or maybe you don't agree with their choices politically, or if they leave religion, maybe you don't agree, but you can still love them. They say stuff like that, which seems very nice. It seems very nice to say something like that. You don't agree with them, but that doesn't mean that you have to stop loving them. It's like, okay, so let's practically apply that in real life situations. Because I think that's where the problem is. I know for a fact that my family loves me. But for some reason, the way that they're acting now is different than the way they were acting before. So something had to change. There had to be some change. I mean, obviously, what choices I made in my life were the impetus of that change, but there's something different. It's hard to know where to pinpoint that difference is. It might be something as easy as confusion or anger, frustration. It could be resentment. It could be disgust. It could be a misunderstanding. It could be ignorance. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why someone changes their behavior. But to just imagine that during that type of interaction, that change in the relationship, that things are just the same. That doesn't mean, I mean, you could still love them. I mean, it sounds like you're saying that something's different, but nothing's different. And I think it's unrealistic. It doesn't seem very helpful. Does that seem helpful? It just sounds very nice. I think that that's a big difference in between the Mexican culture and the American culture. The US culture, because this is America too. But anyway, the US culture and the Mexican culture. In Mexico, it's like, I don't agree with you, and I'm going to tell you to your face because I respect you and I love you. I'm just going to say it. But in the United States, it's, I think from Puritanism, that's a whole other topic, but from a morality based on appearances, there's this idea of, even though I might hate your guts, when I see you, I'm going to smile. Well, how are you doing? I love you. You're my favorite, when deep down they don't like them. Here you don't find that much. And something like this is like, I'm going to make a video supporting conservative parents when they're dealing with a child who's coming out as gay and they don't agree with them. And it's like, I'm just going to say all these nice things, when it's like, that doesn't really help the situation. And then you have the other side where it's like, expect the worst. I don't know. Maybe that's where we should start. Let's see. Yeah, she starts saying, "Hi, kids." So this is Susan Cottrell, but it's her YouTube page, and it's called 4 Tips for Coming Out to Your Christian Parents. So we'll start from that perspective, and then we'll see where it goes. I have a plan for the stream, but I'm open to alterations in that plan. Let's just watch a little bit and see what happens. Let me know what you think.
Hey kids, I'm Susan Cottrell.
Can you tell that Susan Cottrell is an ally to the LGBT community? Can you tell? Is there any way of telling? Even though it says I'm a Christian mom, is there any way?
Christian mom of 5 kids, 2 of whom identify as queer.
Queer! Like huge. 2 identify as queer!
Coming out to your parents can be a real risk. You put everything on the line, and you don't know what will happen. Will they come alongside me? Or will they?
Thank you, Sam. That was supposed to be, like, obvious.
Disown me. My suggestion is hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Okay, I'm imagining myself before coming out. Oh, I think Aaron is home from work. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. I knew before telling my parents what exactly would happen. There was no, well, maybe like they'll accept me or whatever. I mean, I knew what was going to happen. Since I'm the only one talking, I feel like I have to answer. No, don't worry. I know. Maybe at some point we'll have more people who want to participate, but it's not necessary for anyone to talk. But everyone's open to talk. We're open-minded here. We're open to any suggestions, unless you're a Russian bot, in which case you will be reported and kicked off. But anyway. All right, I have to be really careful with this. All right, number 1.
Take care of you. Make a plan. If you're in a position of risk, if you're still living at home, or if your parents are paying for your college, then you need to weigh that out carefully.
This was something that I thought was evident, just self-evident, because I'm making a lot of posts and stuff about commenting on this idea of like focusing on the fact that, you know, if your parents don't automatically bow down and accept you, and, you know, it's this beautiful coming out moment, or, you know, a moment where you express your thoughts and, you know, they're different from your parents and whatever, then that means that they're evil and they hate you, type of thing. One thing I didn't mention was, you know, there are situations where, you know, it's not safe to just express those thoughts, because parents might be abusive in some way. In those type of situations, I don't think it would be advisable to instigate any other reason of animosity. And personally speaking, until those ideas and realities actually affect your life, you know, maybe it's not the best option to do until it's the right moment. Because honestly, like, no one, like, oh my gosh, Clifton Morris, you can't. Are you guys seeing all these bots that come up? I got sidetracked. But you know what I'm saying. Like, sometimes it's not the most important thing in the world to make yourself vulnerable like that. I think the most important thing about coming out is realizing the truth for yourself. I think that's more important than letting the whole world know. Because honestly, being gay or having thoughts that aren't conservative or not being religious, like, there's instances and interactions where those things come into play. But in a lot of instances, it's like, well, okay, like, why does everyone need to know that you're gay? Why does everyone need to know this? Why does everyone need to know? It's like, it's not the most important thing in the world. And it's not that you're hiding. No, it's just like, you know, heterosexual people don't go around telling everyone that they sleep with women or sleep with men. You know, it's like, it's just not, that doesn't have to be your identity. Like, I'm not gay Francis. I'm just Francis. Does that make sense? Yeah, probably bots. They are bots. And sometimes, especially when young, it's just easier not to come out, at least back when I was young. Did both of your parents have similar levels of religiosity? Did they both react similarly when you came out? No, they're not the same. My dad isn't a practicing Catholic. He did support my mom, because my mom is the main driving force of religion in the house. He goes to mass, he prays with us, he does that, but he's not practicing. So basically, I think with my dad, there wouldn't have been an issue, but he supports my mom. So it's kind of it's a bizarre, like, my decision, it really like forces people to take a stance and to, like, you can't really be in gray area. And like with my siblings, oh, that's a whole other, like, I've been talking about parents, but what about dealing with siblings? That's a whole other topic. I've only seen 1 or 2 bots of that type. Yeah, because I delete them right away.
It can be soul crushing to wait till you're beyond your parents' support before you come out. That might be.
That's not necessarily true. Soul crushing. It's hard to make general statements because everyone's situation is different, but like, I think sex and sexuality is forced upon kids way too soon nowadays. And like, there has to be this level of emotional maturity, physical maturity that happens. Okay, biology. But emotional maturity, I mean, you can mess up somebody by exposing them when they're very young. So why does it have to be I don't know. It's hard to make general statements. And I don't want to like invalidate somebody's experience or anything, but it just seems to me that it becomes almost like a necessity to come out. Like, this is a necessary step to your development. And if you don't come out, that means you're not at, like, it's like a Pokemon, like an evolution. Like, you haven't reached your final evolution if you haven't come out as a gay man. You're still I'm trying to think. You're still a Charmander. You're not a Charizard yet. I think back in the 80s and 90s, not coming out was just more common. Now people are backward projecting, so to speak.
Be the safest thing to do. You have to decide when the time is right. When you do come out, have a plan of what you'll do.
Yeah, Outrun's home. I might be getting off soon. I hope everyone understands. But I want to finish this video. I also have to go to the bathroom. TMI, Francis.
You could have someone with you, or have someone on call, or go to a public place. Over the years, I've helped a lot of young people.
You know, it is a reality that there is. I've heard so many stories of kids, especially teenagers, who they were in such a suffocating environment with their family and like very religious parents, and it's not religion's fault, it's those particular parents, but they caused such a situation in the house that the children terminated their lives on their own, if you know what I mean. I have to avoid keywords on YouTube. but they did that because they thought that was the only way out. And that's serious. And I don't think we talk about that enough. I never got to that point. luckily. I was able to create a wonderful web of rationalizations in order to convince myself that I was okay. When those crumbled down, when I was a priest, that was the darkest time. That was the moment where if I would have continued on trying for a few months more, maybe I would have been in that position. It was definitely not looking good. I saw myself in the mirror one day. I remember this distinctly, and I was scared for myself. But that's a huge thing. So like making coming out this like Hollywood experience, you know, it's not all it's cracked up to be, especially when you're depending on other people for your existence. I don't know. I was busy making limpia. What is limpia?
Come out to their parents. Here's how some of them did it. One woman put campus security on speed dial.
Oh my goodness. Someone had a SWAT team on the floor above them, just in case.
Before she came out to her parents in her dorm room. One teen was used to his parents throwing Bible verses at him.
I thought they were going to say throwing Bibles at him.
Grandmother went with him to come out to his parents. They did go ballistic. So his grandmother took him then and there to go live with her.
But this seems like extreme cases, doesn't it? Like to kick your child out of the house. I don't know the statistics, but what she's talking about seems like extreme cases. And in those cases, it's like, why would you instigate it? Why is that so necessary? Yet again, I'm not them. I don't know the whole situation. Limpia is basically Filipino jalapeno poppers. Jalapeno. I like that. Jalapeno. I like Spanish. I like the accent. Oh, I love jalapeno poppers. Do you guys want to see Aslan? Oh, you can't see him. Aslan, say hi. He's like, pet me, but I hate you. That's basically what he's saying. His body language. He's like, why'd you stop petting me? No, I hate you. Stop. Oh, here he comes. Say hello. Okay, well, this is very intimate. Oh, now he's sitting on the table, and you want to eat my banana peel. Now I can't see the screen. Aslan, go. Okay. Sandro never felt the need to come out. He always assumed his family knew somehow. In fact, him coming out was when he told them about me. I asked what their response. He said they just asked. Sandro, are you sure you want to move so far away? It was such a non-issue for them, which is great. It happens. I hear my voice downstairs. Oh, that's funny. Sorry. Oh, hi, Adran. He's watching me. He's very supportive. You all can say happy birthday to him. He's watching. I don't know if you can see the chat, but we're both turning 33 tomorrow. All right, let's keep watching.
The bag they had packed. What would you put in that bag? Anything you'd want to have if you were suddenly displaced. Your devices. Any paperwork that would be hard to replace. like your birth certificate, driver's license, social security card, cash.
Thank you. Everyone's saying happy birthday to you, Aaron, if you can't see the chat. And Francis. So the birth certificate. How do you get a birth certificate? Because I don't have any of this. I don't have my social security card. I don't have my birth certificate. My driver's license expired. And I barely have any cash. I didn't prepare my bag to leave. Okay, 2 more bots. Goodbye. Thank you for coming. Go back to Russia. All right.
I don't want to scare you. Just better safe than sorry. Better to laugh about having a bag you don't need than cry about needing a bag you don't have. Step 2.
That was just step 1. Oh. Okay.
Your family. First, give them time.
That's huge. And you know, I think a lot of it depends on delivery. If you go to your family with an air of superiority, excuse me, like this is who I am, this is me, now you know me, what are you going to do? And like expect them to respond in the right way at that moment. That's not. Think of other situations in human experience where that's valid, that type of thing. I don't think there's any other human experience that's like that, the coming out ceremony. So when you're... Hello to everyone, and thank you so much for your wishes. So I think that's huge, to give them time to not even accept or deny, but just to absorb, just to take in what's saying. Imagine what my parents had to absorb with my situation. It wasn't that I was gay, which I found out later that they figured out before, but that I had left. It's like all the possible things. It's like the priesthood is like marriage, right? So imagine going to your parents and saying, "Oh, I left my wife, I left God, I left religion, and I'm gay." That's basically what. Imagine all of that compounded in one coming out letter. I didn't actually call them or anything. I sent them an email. First of all, because I didn't have a phone at the time, but second, because I wanted to give it to them in a very cold way that was very abstracted from emotion. And so they could, in their own time, read it, reread it, understand it, and then be able to come back. I saw one very insightful video that pointed out how you've been figuring it out all your life, and this is new and sudden to them. Yeah, exactly. That's huge. And also not to come like, I am 100% anything. No one's 100% anything in the sense of, like, if the perception of the family was one thing for so long, and now you're saying that it's not that, it's this 100%. It's like, what? How could it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's hard to understand.
Here's the deal. They have not gone through all the preparation that you have.
Just like you were saying, Sam.
They're just hearing the words that the culture and the church has ingrained into them. If you can stay calm, even if they're not, it will help you and them.
a lot of these coming out type of videos, these advice videos, it seems like the end, it's either the extreme where it's like they kick you out or they burn you at the stake. Not literally, but there's that. Or it's they just give them time. They'll come around eventually. And I don't know if it's that those are the options, the most frequent options.
I talk to a lot of parents, and when they learn their kids took steps to protect themselves, it breaks their heart. They may be devastated that you carried this around alone for so long. If
That's a huge thing. And that's like I know that it's difficult to try to understand what's happening with your children. And this, I know this is talking about gay coming out, but this is anything, any revelation of some hidden fact or change that is huge, that is fundamental, profound within the family structure, which I don't understand why gay is in there, but it is. It still is a big issue. So, what did you just say? Why do I keep losing my train of thought? Oh, that for me, and I know for a lot of people, like there's sometimes many years of suffering through this fact and trying to deny it, trying to figure it out, trying to obliterate it and change it or something, do something to make it go away. And it's a burden. And when I came out to my parents, I had to explain to them what was happening because I respect them. It wasn't because it was a necessity. It wasn't like it was a step to make me feel more secure in my decision. No, but it was more as my family, and because I love you, I want you to know this is what happened and this is what's happening in my life. And like I hope that eventually my family realizes that even just having like the perception of what it was like for me, and I don't want to just sit here and talk I felt so bad, I was the victim or anything like that, but having to deal with that for so long, how would anyone act in that situation? What is the correct way to act in that situation? If you think that I made the wrong decision, please put yourself in my shoes and try to tell me what would have been a better action, because I love you and I respect you and I'm listening to your words and your advice. Tell me maybe what would have been a better option, because it seemed like an impossible situation. Like lose-lose type of thing. Like if I go here, I will possibly lose my life. If I go here, I will lose the stability that I had in my life, my family, the people I love, friends, God, all this stuff that was keeping me stable. So it was like, what do I do? What they don't realize is that not everyone is going to come around, especially because of strongly held religious convictions. Exactly, Sam. I was outed as a lesbian back in high school and my family has never come around. I can relate a lot, but it requires a lot of emotional intelligence and strength to go with what they're saying in the video. It is not easy for everyone, but I can say that people now have been able to process these topics easily that our parents or people from this generation. I was basically outed to my family as well, but at least I was already an adult and didn't rely on them for support. Everyone's situation is different.
Alone for so long. If that's the case, tell them you're all good, all is well. They have nothing to regret. They didn't cause this. All is well. And you do need them to be there for you and love you now that you've come out.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if in my conversations with my mom, especially, if I ever mention that, because I lost my grandmother when I was in the seminary, and she was to me like a second mother. She was always with us. She was very supportive, and it's interesting to think what she would have done with my decisions. But I see the way that my mom has the distress that the death of my grandmother has caused on my mom, and it's like I don't want, like, that causes me distress because I feel like in a lot of ways that my family has died. They've all died. And I wonder if they imagine it the other way. They imagine that I've died. I mean, we live in different countries. We don't really talk. There's just a lot of things that it's a difficult situation. And that's you can go around and say, "Oh, I'm going to make my own family and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that." If you grew up in a horrible situation, in a horrible family, it's really easy to do that. It's really easy to go make a better situation. Okay. But when you come from a loving family with parents who love you, really, and you really love them, it's not so easy to just drop them. Just
Secondly, be ready to answer their basic questions like, are you sure? How do you know? But you dated so-and-so. Again, this is all new to them.
That is true. You have to be patient. But anyway, I didn't want to go through the whole video, just kind of giving a perception of that's what oh, there is one thing at the end that I remember. It's a story. That I found interesting.
When affirming pastor Tony Campolo was a college chaplain, a student came to him crying, terrified because someone had threatened to out her to her parents. She was sure they'd disown her.
Kids can be so cruel.
So Tony called her parents right then and there. He said, "I've got your daughter in my office." Her dad said, "My daughter, she's a great girl, great student, kind, loving."
Sounds like a good girl.
Tony said, "That's right. And in a moment, we're going to find out if you're worthy of her."
What do you think of that?
Because you see, the dad's response to her coming out reveals him, not her. And
what do you think of that idea? Are you worthy? It's so... A lot of these words were... Like, I still have the echo of religion, the signification of these words that are still with me. And ideas of, like, being worthy, being good, all those things carried so much weight in my life, and it's hard for me to really have a different perspective than the religious one that I grew up with. Confronting my dad like that, phone call would not have gone well at all. Yeah, and it's like putting the person on the spot, like, well, now we're going to see if you're worthy. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure everything out. Understand maybe what I did wrong, maybe what I should do right now. I don't know. My mom would have been too busy weeping. She saw herself as a Saint Monica. That's funny. My mom too.
And finally, step 4. Remember the truth about you. No matter how your family reacts, they do love you. They just may be so clouded with fear.
But if they love you, then there's actions, right? There's certain actions. You express the love. So that's confusing. It's confusing to me. All right, so I was going to do some other videos when you're a Christian parent and your child comes out to you, Christian talk. And it's the same type of thing. It's like you don't have to agree with them, but you still can love them. It's like love the sinner, hate the sin. How does that practically play out in real life? What does that mean? Like in concrete? Because it sounds good. It's like, well, I don't hate anyone. I just hate their actions. It's like that's like something to, help you get to sleep at night. But how do we manifest that? I don't say we. How do they manifest that? And I think that's part of the issue. That's part of the reason why some parents are kind of in a state of confusion and not really knowing what to do, not knowing how to act, how to say, maybe in a state of separation. They're given all these principles on how to act, how to treat other people, the others, which can be easy, but when you're dealing with someone in your own family, somebody that you gave birth to and raised and saw them through their life, that's where it's like, how does this practically work now? And I imagine that it's easy for us. It's easy for us to say, well, now I'm not religious, so now I'm going to do this. Now I'm gay, or not now, but I'm coming out, and now I'm going to live a gay life. And, it's easy for us in a certain sense. But to have to not manipulate, but maneuver with religious ideas in a very concrete, practical situation, I understand why it's so difficult and why we see so many various reactions that sometimes, like I said before, frustration, anger, confusion, like all these different emotions and things that come up that cause harsh reactions or silence or whatever. I understand that. Well, I think that might be good for now. I don't want to go through other videos right now. My mom would have been too busy. For my parents, the concrete was, and now we will pray this rosary for the conversion of Samuel. Let's pray, children. Yeah. This was for any transgression, real or imagined. Yeah, it's difficult because we, as religious, we had a list of things to do, a way to react, but that's where the confusion comes in. I don't know. I would just take the whole situation, be very open, be very patient as much as possible, and try, if you really love your parents, your family, try to see things from their perspective, what might be happening. Ask them, just be blunt and ask them. Don't be on the moral high ground like I'm the one who's open-minded and you're stuck. That's not a good perspective to have on either side, really. It's not an easy situation to maneuver, and every situation is different. And I don't know, I'm not really in a place to kind of close this conversation to I'm not in a position to say this is the ideal outcome. I want my parents, in the end, I want to work towards this goal. I don't even have a clear image of what that is. And I don't even want to think about it. Because, yeah, who knows what's going to happen. I'm kind of more of a person who will kind of go with the flow and find out what curve in the road happens tomorrow, or opportunity happens tomorrow, or we'll see what happens. And tomorrow might be an opportunity, because maybe I'll talk to my parents tomorrow for my birthday. All right, everybody. I think that might be the end. Not unless anyone has a question or comment or criticism. Do you want to criticize me? I'm digging this music. Okay, people, thank you for coming. And thank you for watching this if you watch after the stream ends. Let me know what you want me to talk about next time. I'm open to suggestions, but that doesn't mean I'll do it. How dare you end the stream? Well, you know, gotta go. Nature calls. Fun watching. Look forward to next episodes. Thank you for the support. And happy my birthday tomorrow. It's a national holiday.